Hi everyone. Today I am talking with Jenn Fanning, and she is a graduate of my Business Launch Accelerator program, and she is also a YouTube strategist. So during our time together on my coaching program, I realized just what an expert Jennifer actually is when it comes to YouTube. And I'm a really big fan of YouTube. I think it's a great way to grow a business and build your audience and get leads. So what I wanted to do is actually pick your brains, Jennifer, bring you on here and really ask you to share your knowledge about YouTube. I've got some questions I want to ask you. So yeah, first of all, welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So of course, after all of this, if anyone has any questions, we'll put the details in so you can contact Jennifer and she can talk you through how she can help you. She's got several ways. So if it's okay with you, then I'll ask you my questions. I hope they're questions that are really relevant to everybody listening today. Of course, they can reach out to you and ask you other things. Yeah. But first of all, YouTube is something that is called the world's second biggest search engine. So we've got Google, but people actually search for information on YouTube. Mm. So I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about how YouTube works as a search engine.
Well, yeah, so imagine if you uploaded a video talking about how to start a business or how to leave your 9-to-5 and start your own business. And then let's say someone like me doesn't have a business and really wants to start a business. And then I go on to YouTube and I say, how to leave my 9-to-5 job, or how to start a business with no money, or how to start any phrases really. And then that video that you've put up will be one of the videos that will appear in searches. So if I watch that video, and then let's say you've got similar videos around the same topic, like how to start a business with no money or with very little money, how to leave your 9-to-5. So then I keep watching them as long as they're engaging and not necessarily entertaining, but I'm getting a lot of value out of them. And I come to realize that, yeah, her video is actually quite engaging. I understand a lot. I keep watching those videos. The next time I click onto YouTube, videos relating to that topic, more of your videos will also appear in my recommendations. And then people who are like me, who are looking for those particular topics, YouTube will be like, well, Jennifer liked Samantha's video on these topics, and this other person, let's say Lisa, is like Jennifer, let's show her more of Samantha's videos and see if she would also watch them. And that is just how it just keeps going. So I recommend more and more of your videos to people that are more like me, who are interested. And then the other way of that is YouTube and Google, they're owned by the same company, Google. So if I look up that particular phrase again on Google, your video would also appear in Google search.
Got it. Okay.
So in a way, you're killing two birds with the one stone. Yeah. Just by making one video, you have two places that you can possibly appear in Google and in YouTube.
Okay. Oh, that's really interesting. And it's funny. I mean, you've worked with me, but I talk a lot about using video. So whether that's on, whichever social media platform, but video is where it's really at now. Yeah, exactly. Every platform's pushing people onto video because it is a great way to learn and engage, and you can add value to your audience. Yeah. But that's really interesting. And I think there's so much you can learn from a lot of the videos that are on there. But also at the same time, YouTube's a platform where there's a lot of videos being uploaded every day. There's a lot of information on there. So how do you actually stand out in an environment like that?
The one thing I would say is to do well on YouTube, you either be the first to do something, the best at doing it, or be different. Now, because like it's a platform that's been around for so many years, it's hard to be the first to do something. Like there's so many other business coaches, there's so many YouTube strategists out there. And at the same time, you may or may not be the best. So you need to then think, okay, how can I be different? Yeah. How can I stand out? So it could be maybe with your branding, or it could be with the sort of language you use, your energy, maybe the particular way that you use. Find your unfair advantage, basically. That's how I say it. Like what makes you so like different to the people who are in the same field as you, the same experts as you. How could people think, okay, well, no, I'd rather watch Samantha's video than this other person's video? So you need to figure that out, right? And then pick like an umbrella niche. Okay, when it comes to standing out, you have to like, people say, oh, you need to pick a niche, you need to pick a niche. But I think when you're just on one particular niche, sometimes it can get a bit boring. So have an umbrella niche. So for my YouTube channel, the way I do it is, yeah, I want to use my videos to teach coaches how to grow on YouTube. But because I'm also a mom who runs her own business, I want to show that side of my entrepreneurial journey as well. So that's like my umbrella. And I know that there are a lot of coaches, especially ones who are parents, who can relate to that as well. So that sort of fits in. So then all of a sudden, I'm not just giving information by showing that part of me. Oh, I'm a mom who runs her own business, teaching coaches to do this. What I'm doing is I'm building a community. Okay. So like, you're building a community. So you find your umbrella niche, you find what makes you different. For me, it's the fact that I'm a mom, I run my own business, right? And I've done YouTube in the past. I've failed at YouTube and I've learned from that. And I'm using that journey to teach people. So that's like my unfair advantage. So you find that, and then you create that sort of like community. Because when people feel like they're part of your community, that trust is built, and then they want to watch more of your videos and basically buy from you, okay? And then when it comes to the actual videos themselves, I would say create thumbnails that stand out, because I think it's like you have an average, it's like 0.3 seconds per video to stand out to someone. Do you know what I mean? Because you search YouTube and then you've got these like, you've got like hundreds of suggestions, and you need one video. It's the one that stands out to you that you're going to click on, because it's sort of like you don't have time to be reading what the thumbnail says. So this is my tip to have a video that stands out, right? Use both colors for your thumbnail. Don't put too much text, because again, if people have 0.3 seconds, they're not going to be able to read. They don't have time to read what it says. If you're going to include your face, let it be exaggerated. You know, it could be something like, you know, something like really crazy. Like, I think there was this video where this girl was talking about how she got monetized on YouTube in like 6 months, and her facial expression was what got me like that. And I watched the video, and like 3 hours later, I was still on her channel watching more of her videos. You see what I mean? Yeah. And just by one video. So yeah, use thumbnails that like are, if it's your branding color, that's why my branding color is yellow, because it stands out. But it's also me, like warm and inviting and fun. So that is it. So just find like any of your branding colors that you know are inviting or like obnoxious, you know, it's like in your face. Use those sort of colors. For your background, maybe if you're going to include your face, make sure you exaggerate it. That's sort of what I would say standing out. So you have to have your umbrella niche, try and build a community, find what makes you different. And then that way people who can relate or who want to learn from you would feel like, oh yeah, I can relate to her, she's relevant, and they'll just be returning subscribers, because there's no point in getting 12,000 views on a video if those people are going to come back and keep watching your videos. There's no point getting 100,000 subscribers if they're not going to go back and watch your videos or buy from you. Do you get what I mean? So that's definitely what I say. And yeah, obviously use thumbnails that do stand out.
Okay. No, I think that's really, really good advice. And it actually ties in really nicely to, I guess, the general advice I give my coaching clients, which is to be themselves.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to show your personality, show part of your life that you're comfortable sharing, you know, so as long as it is relevant. And I love that idea of that umbrella approach. So it's not just single focus, I'm only going to talk about this one topic. It's bringing in relevant aspects of your life and of your business and how you help people. And I think as a coach, you know, when you're hiring a coach, it's the know, like, and trust factor that you talked about. You need to build that rapport with people. And this is why video is so important, and why I really encourage people to try reels, to do lives, to do videos, to get on YouTube, because that's the best way for someone to see your personality, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so you have to show your personality. And if you hold back, or if you feel like you've got to be really polished or perfect or like somebody else that you've seen on another channel, exactly as you say, you won't find your voice. You won't be showing someone how you're different, and no one's going to find you.
Yeah.
So no, I love that. And I love the idea of those bold colors as well.
Yeah.
You know, something that's really going to stand out, those visuals, and just that really attention grabbing visual, the thumbnail, the colors, the facial expressions. So no, I think that they're really, really good tips. And I think video is something, and YouTube is something, and you know, jump in if I'm wrong, but I think it's something that people at the very beginning stages of building a business can utilize, but also when you're trying to grow your business. So I would imagine that you would work with people who, you know, are at different stages of that journey. Maybe you've got someone who has never tried out YouTube. Maybe they're watching today and thinking, oh, actually, that could be a really good move for me. So you can help them with that, but also trying to build your business, grow your audience, get new leads, get those videos out there. So how would you recommend YouTube for scaling a business?
Okay, so yeah, the number one thing you want to do if you're going to be using YouTube for your business is you need to make sure you're adding value.
Yes.
And I know everyone and their mother, sister's friend tell you that, but it's the truth. You need to be adding value, because if I'm searching how to start a business with little money, and then you spend the first 2 or 3 minutes rambling about something that I don't care about, I'm not going to watch your video and I'm going to move. I'm going to be like, yeah, she doesn't know her stuff. Do you know what I mean? But if you go jump right straight in and you tell me, and I'm like, oh my God, really? And then you have more videos about that, telling me more and more about it. And then I realized, oh, she's a business coach. Oh, okay, I'm going to try this myself and see first, because that's usually what people do. They want to try it out themselves, you know? And then it's like, no, I'm really struggling. I'll just go to Samantha. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you definitely need to add value. And then you need to make sure you're answering questions that your ideal clients are searching for, both on Google and on YouTube. Because remember, whatever video you put up on YouTube can still appear on Google. Okay, so you need to make sure you're answering those sort of questions. Do your keyword research. So like if you go into YouTube now, for example, and you say, how to start a business, you know, the suggestions that come underneath, YouTube would always say, with no money, with little money, with 2,000. So then that gives you ideas of what people are searching for. What that is, it's just basically people are searching for those videos. So it's giving you video ideas, content ideas. So now you, by just typing in how to start a business, YouTube probably give you about 10 video ideas. Do you know what I mean? Just by looking at the search. So then you can focus making videos on those topics. And yeah, you might feel like you're repeating yourself, but remember, not everyone's going to watch every single one of those videos. Do you know? And it could be the 5th video that gets a lot of traction. It could be the first video to get a lot of traction. So you need to make a lot of videos around the same topic, but taken from different angles, because different people are searching for different things around the same topic. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So, and then also, if you are a coach and you're certified, if you've got experience, always include that in your channel description. Include that in like your name when you're like, if you're doing like, once you come on screen, have your name there, like, you know, Samatha Touchais, you know, certified, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Just at the bottom, that gives you a bit of credibility.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. I can trust her. She's been through this process. Or, you know, if for people who don't have any certification, how many years experience do you have? How long have you been doing this? In my case, I'd be like, it could be something I could just mention like, oh yeah, you know, I started my YouTube channel back in 2017 and I've learned a lot since then. And I'm using my knowledge and expertise to help my clients grow their business using YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like, oh, she's been on a journey. She's had the experience that you need to be doing that, especially when you're calling yourself a coach and you're giving people advice. Okay. And then how do you sell on a video? First of all, you don't oversell. Don't be like, hire me, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? Sell by dropping seeds. So you could be like, I don't say, talking about, yeah, so this is how you start a business, blah, blah. And in case you don't know, I've got this course that helps you to do this, this, that, and the other. Go just like quick 30 seconds. It'll be linked in the description, so you can check that out, then move on.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So you've sort of dropped that seed there, but you're not like pushing it.
Yes.
Another way of doing it is, so I'm so excited. So last week, I finally finished my course on helping you start a business. I'm so excited because I know the wealth of knowledge is in that, and I know it's going to help so many people start their business. I'm going to link in the description box if you're interested, and then move on. So you're telling them about it, but you're not like selling too much to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And obviously then that means if you're going to mention something in your video, you need to link it in the description box because people will be looking for it. I've been on like videos where I'm like, oh, I really like this person's camera. What are they using? And then I look in the description, they don't have it linked.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, you know, it's a bit devastating. And if some of them, if you're a big YouTuber, they might not have the time to reply to your comment if you say, oh, what camera do you use? So if you're talking about your course, you don't want people to have to make an extra effort to find out any more about your business. Link it to your website, link to, if it's a Google document that's going to pop up for them and give them information, just make sure it's linked. So anyone who is interested, they can find you there. The whole scaling, it does go with what we've talked about standing out. Like, so once you're standing out and you are building relationships with people and you're showing that part of yourself, like maybe if you're a personal brand, show a bit of behind the scenes, things like that. People find you relatable, you've built a community and they feel like they can trust you. And that is how you can scale on YouTube, because you might have amazing content and be adding a lot of value. But if you're not standing out to people, like, your thumbnails is the first thing they see. If that's not popping and not standing out to them, then they're not going to know how brilliant you are. Do you know what I mean? So that is always the very first step. And you don't need to be a YouTuber to succeed on YouTube, because some people think, oh, YouTube, I'm not an influencer. But yeah, that's fine. It's not for influencers. It's for people who want to grow community, who want to add value to people's lives. So either that's entertaining, inspiring, or for educating people. Do you know what I mean? And that's how eventually those people then become influencers, because they've built that community. And so that's really it. Building a community of people who trust you, they will buy from you just because they know that you've been on that journey, you know what you're talking about, and you're certified. Yeah, exactly. To give those sort of advice.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think they see your personality, they know what you're like. And I think that's really important. And, you know, I love YouTube. I use it for a lot of when I'm doing property investment. I've learned lots of tips over the years. I use it as quite an educational tool as well as entertainment. But yeah, it's great. But I think as a coach, trying to get leads is always one of the biggest challenges. You know, we want the clients, but to get the clients, we need to get the leads. And how do we find people? Yeah. So, you know, I can say as a business coach, I know I fully support YouTube. I think it's a great way to do it. And this is what you help people do. So if there's any coaches or other business entrepreneur type people who are watching this, how can they get in touch with you if they want to know more? And how do you actually help these people?
All right, yeah, so in order to get in touch with me, you can send me an email, info@jenniferfanningva.com. And so I'll just leave that on the screen there for people, because so they'll know. But yeah, how do I help people? So I have two types of services that I provide. A strategy session for people who maybe they're new to YouTube or they've been on YouTube for a while and they just feel like they're not getting anything out of it, and they want to grow, they want to scale their business using YouTube. So with that strategy session, they get their 90 minutes consultation with me, and they get an action plan document. So just after the call, it's not like you're left high and dry. You've got an action plan document that you can just sort of follow through. It will cover some things that are already discussed in the call, but it will cover much more as well. So it could be like, say if you're new to YouTube and you don't know what sort of equipment you need to buy, I'd link some equipments there, like recommendations, or you could try this, you can try that, you know, or, you know, tips on how to get your thumbnails to stand out. I give you some, I'd even include examples of thumbnails and be like, why do you think this one stands out to this one? And, you know, that sort of thing. So that is how the action document would work. And then they would also get their 30 days email support with me. So when they're going through that document or after the call, they're like, oh, actually, I forgot to ask this question, or I don't quite understand, you know, this, or I'm trying this and it's not working. Just send me an email. You've got 30 days support with me and I'll reply to your questions and just help out that way. And then after 60 days, they'll have a follow-up call with me. We can talk about next steps and things like that, and just check in and see how everything is going. And obviously, if I have any more tips, I'll give that as well. So that's the strategy session. And then I've got the management session where literally all you have to do is film your video. And I'll take it from editing to uploading on YouTube, where it's getting views, it's standing out to your ideal clients and effectively scaling your business. So that is
wonderful.
like, yeah, it is. It's a dream. Imagine just all you have to do is film the video and be like, here, take care of it.
You do it.
Yeah, exactly. So keyword research is designing thumbnails that stand out, editing the video, obviously, including like timestamps for people, because sometimes, let's face it, depending on who your ideal clients are. My ideal clients are coaches, and they're most likely busy. They don't have time to watch a whole 20-minute video. If they're looking for a particular topic, have a timestamp there that will just say, okay, at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, this is why I answered that question. And they just watch that and then they can move on with their lives and they've got the answer. So things like that, that's why I help with management as well. So it's strategy and channel management. Those are the two ways I help people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for today. It's been really good learning more about YouTube.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. And yeah, please, everybody reach out to Jennifer and ask whatever questions. You know, I can say, having worked with you for a number of months, you're a fabulous, friendly person. So there should be no issues with anyone reaching out to you. Thank you for your time again and for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Not a problem. Take care.
Bye.